This episode is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/wickedtheory. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from inside the Terramorphing Lab aboard the Covenant. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. I'm your host. My name's Bill Sweeney. This was my bad idea, but every once in a while I bring some people with me. Well, it's not true. It's every single time. I got my buddy Ed.
I'm in this for the money and the pussy, and they're both falling off the trees.
Wow. And I got my brother Bob.
Hello?
What was that?
What the fuck was that?
So what was that one, Ed?
Oh, that was from Trumbo. Where,
Cannot say I've seen it.
Yeah, John Goodman plays producer Frank King.
Frank King.
I knew it had to be a movie quote because I could not see you
Yes.
saying that otherwise.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
it's
King.
always a movie quote.
King of the B movies. More
King?
like C, D movies.
Sure it's not further down? Any
Oh, yeah.
further down?
Yeah.
The alphabet, maybe? All right, so this is episode 106, and it's just the three of us. So we're going to get to some news, emails later on, the DC TV report, all kinds of fun stuff like that. We even got lightning round. Some listeners submitted lightning round.
Questions. Oh my God, we got questions. I can't handle the pressure.
Oh,
I think we can handle
Yeah, we can. There are listeners. They're going to be stupid questions.
well, that is the whole point. So, is anybody hanging out? We got anybody in the chat room? Because we do this live every Saturday night. What do we got? We got any attendance?
Yes, we do. We have Wesley Ryan Gaskins.
Of course, we
Yeah.
got Wesley.
And we got James.
Wesley.
James Louisiana.
James. So James, yeah, there'll be no Uncle Jay tonight. He's got other things to do. But if you were around last night for us, that's Friday night because today's Saturday. We did a little Star Wars special. People can check that out if they didn't hear it. It's in the feed, in the podcast feed. We did a little tribute celebration without, bells and whistles for Star Wars. 40 years of Star Wars, man.
Yes. And somehow I still feel bad because I talked about Star Trek a lot.
Well, not a lot. But I mean, there was a moment where we talked
Yeah.
about it for a minute or two, but it was a fair analogy. I mean, that's the thing. We were talking for a while, so.
Yeah, well, in your defense, there was something confusing that just came out around that same time.
Yeah.
Concerning Star Trek.
Well, we'll get to that later.
I mean,
in the
we don't
show.
need to relive it. But
No, I'm not planning to.
well, it's in the doc, so we'll get to it. So those kids in the chat room, if they want to play a little game, let's see how you guys do with this one, since we're going to be talking about Alien Covenant, I guess. Why don't you guys see if you can Ridley Scott a TV show?
Yeah.
Like, take some movies from Ridley Scott's catalog.
You got Alien, Blade Runner,
Yeah,
Hannibal,
Black Hat,
mm-hmm.
and there you go. He's got 6 movies.
The Martian.
The Martian.
Martian
Just slap
Man.
that stuff into other TV show titles and see what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Saint Alienware. I would take that, I guess. Although it's kind of a different thing. I don't know.
My Two Martian Men.
There you go. All right, so I got nothing. That one was a last second throw together. Can you tell?
I don't know.
All right.
I would have just told them that it's because we think they're smart. We give them a harder one.
To give them some challenges, right?
Yeah.
If you guys want to cheat, you might as well just pull up the IMDb. And
Well,
really,
we know they're always going to do that.
well, they should be anyway.
Doesn't matter what we give them, they're going to do that.
They should be doing that. They should be opening up a tab, Google, all films related to XYZ in the chat game. So I guess what we'll do is we'll get right into news
Yeah.
because we got it up front nowadays.
Jump
Not
right in.
much to get into an official business, but if you want to support the show, you can go check out at the end of the episode, Paula's going to have a breakdown on how you can support the show and, hear episodes and whatnot, where we are, all that good stuff. We put that at the back end. Bob. News o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
That's our news theme, Ed. I don't know if you're aware. You've been here before?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. What do we got in the news? Anything happened this week?
So, Tom Hardy.
I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, good actor.
Yeah,
it was
good
cast
actor.
this
Good
week.
actor.
Yeah, he was cast this week. He's going to be playing Venom.
Venom.
All right, so someone's making a Spider-Man movie with Venom?
No.
They're making a Venom movie without Spider-Man.
It's a standalone Venom movie.
Yeah. So,
How's
dwell
that
on
gonna
that.
work?
Oh, who knows? It's this weird thing that Sony's got the control of all the other characters in the Spider-Man universe besides Spider-Man. And, one of the couple of the... There's going to be a lot of questions with this one. It's gonna
So
be like,
Aunt May is going to fight Venom.
hey, she could.
Mary Jane comes in the last minute with a spear, saves the day,
Hey,
Banging a gong, maybe.
why not? Anything could happen. Because here's the thing, too. In the deal for this stuff that Marvel has with Sony now, this is all Sony. Like
Yes.
Marvel, it's back to like how Marvel really didn't have any hard hand control of the other Spider-Man movie.
but-
This is like in that kind of thing.
Right,
The-
but it almost sounds like Marvel wouldn't want to be any part of this anyway. So,
No, I mean,
because look what they did with the Spider-Man,
right. But no, but
right?
well,
And
if-
that's a good property. Then with just
but if
just
Marvel
the
had
bad guys.
control, that would make it better, though. But the thing is,
Yeah.
I think, is just that, like, in general, it's like, what do you do with this guy as a solo movie? Even if Marvel wanted to make a solo movie,
Well,
it's like,
also-
what?
This movie's coming 20 years too late.
the
like-
Venom cool train has
Yeah.
left the station.
Yeah. That was like McFarlane era, right? When like he was like at the height of his popularity.
I mean, it's true. Deadpool was still cool. I mean, Venom books will still sell. They'll still, but it's not like. But they're always looking to do different things with Venom too. Like Venom, actually, only more recently I think has Eddie Brock actually that version of Venom come back. For a long time there. I think he's still on his own as a version of Venom. Flash Thompson is a version of Venom. Spider-Man's like high school bully jock guy
and he
who
was-
later kind of became a friend in early adulthood. But he goes off to his modern retconning of his stories. That he goes off to the service, loses his legs, and then the government comes in and is like, "Hey, buddy, you know what you could be? An alien-skinned killer for us. That would be amazing." Everybody at the Army speaks with a transcontinental accent. I don't know if you know that, but so that's kind of like his new thing, and he's very much like a Deep Space Punisher or Venom mashup thing where he's always got guns and I think the guns come out of the Venom suits.
Yeah, that's supposed to be part of like Venom.
Yeah,
I
like it
think.
generates the guns somehow, much like it would make clothes for him.
I was reading Charles Soule's run on the Thunderbolts for a while.
Okay, sure.
And he was one of that team.
Yeah.
That team, by the way, it's like Deadpool, Elektra, Punisher,
Yeah,
Venom.
right.
And it was just that's an insane.
Yeah, it's
team
that crazy
team
over
up.
the top.
And
the
Red
body.
Hulk.
Yeah, the body count's gonna be high in this book. Was it? Like, you know what I mean? In the end, like, that's the thing. Like always, it's like, oh, we got 6 badass killers on a team, but they're not really killing people. In the end, it's like,
Yeah, really. You think
it's a kid's book.
You would think that Frank Castle, at the very least, would be like, you know what? Venom's is insane, so I'm just gonna like let him get pissed off at anything.
Yeah.
And let him slaughter everything in the room.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a lot of that stuff. A lot of this, bold character conflict where it's like everybody wants to be, team leader and they're all solo guys. I actually heard a lot of stuff, good talk about that run on Thunderbolts. But I think it comes back to with Venom is just that, like, okay, he's supposed to be crazy insane. He's a killer. He's only like cool anti-hero.
Yeah.
Like later, like how are you going to remake all this? Hey, look, by signing Tom Hardy, it's a sign that they probably had something cool there to get him to say yes to that. Even, that he's beat around superhero stuff lately a little bit.
Yeah, well, they're saying also he's grew up as a huge Venom fan. So
Okay.
this might be a little bit of a
little self-indulgence, kind of a self-wish kind of a thing. Like,
we'll see.
We'll see on the execution. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's great casting in it for it in general.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's going to chew the scenery no matter what. Might as well give him a giant mouth and a giant tongue.
Yeah, and the movie has a release date and it's coming out October 5th, 2018.
Who's the director on that?
Ruben Fleischer
And
from Zombieland.
Okay.
Okay.
And Gangster Squad.
Not okay, but
Yeah.
all right. But we know now.
Yeah.
No, so it's one of these things where it's like it's going to be very much a lot of different angles to be like, wow, keep your eye on this and see where this goes, because it feels like some chips are stacked against it. You know what I mean? As much as this is a really cool event, transpiring for the project, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you hope it's going to come out good or it just isn't going to happen.
Exactly. So speaking of hope, Ed's got some kind of rundown or a little bit of a rundown on
So yeah, we kind of talked about
TV fall schedules.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this last week with all the cancellations and renewals that were coming down.
Right.
The big five broadcast networks had their upfronts this week.
Okay.
And all announced their full lineups.
Right.
So as far as
what's noteworthy?
Yeah, what's noteworthy for I'm just going to do a quick rundown, and this is mostly going to be geek-centric shows.
Okay.
Big bet, they're still doing the thing where Thursday Night Football, they have a lot of the Thursday comedies on Mondays, and then after football ends, they switch.
Okay.
So Big Bang Theory is going to start on Monday and then move to Thursday. Lucifer.
Yeah.
Remember, it was Gotham and Lucifer on Monday nights.
Right.
Lucifer's going to move up to 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And Gotham is moving to Thursdays.
So the
8.
show about the devil is going to move to 8.
Yes.
And we're never really going to get a cool show about a devil,
Yes.
are we?
The devil who owns a nightclub.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And so now Lucifer is going up against Supergirl. And Gotham is going up against Big Bang Theory.
On Thursdays.
And the Thursday Night Football and Will and Grace.
So any kind of really good graces that Gotham has built up is now going to get washed out, right?
This could mean one of two different things. I think this could just mean that they think this is our best show, so we're going to put it on the toughest night and see how it hangs. That's my wishful thinking.
Yeah, which is crazy. Which is just, I think it's a silly experiment. I think it's a silly risk to take.
Well, I think it's also the kind of thing like season 4, they're going to hit 88 episodes. They're going to get guaranteed syndication. So this is the kind of thing where like,
oh, it's make or break.
Yes.
I hear you. I hear that. It's like, okay, if we want to take a shot at the big time, and as maybe there's some projected, storylines that they've discussed, why season 4 might be worth making a bold move. Okay, whatever. But I think it's just highly risky because you've built up this show since season 1 as a Monday night show. I thought it was always kind of holding on in ratings. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
I don't know.
see, like,
I feel like it's a rating. It gets decent ratings for Monday night.
Okay, so here's the thing: the common misconception,
Right.
When you're on the network,
Yeah.
With these kinds of shows, you're not competing against the other shows on other networks in your time slot. You're
Right.
competing against the shows on your own network.
Right.
So if Gotham is still getting good numbers compared to other Fox shows,
Right.
it'll be okay.
Well, that's what keeps it from getting cancellation, right? I get you.
Yes.
Like, we have what we consider our benchmark
Yeah.
threshold of cancellation number. Like, you know what I mean? So, versus cost of episode. So I get that. You know what I mean? It just feels like, to me, like, are you hoping that, like, all these people are just going to end up finding you on Thursday night? It's just, I just feel like it's like 3 years of building up an audience on a certain night.
Yeah, but I also think Gotham's audience is going to follow them. The
They
audience it has
might.
now.
They might. You know what I mean? I feel like it's that kind of show where, like, I wonder. It's a thing where it's like, I wonder if they're gonna really be able to do that with that much of a division on Thursday nights of similar fare. If you were saying that Gotham is the alternative, okay, there's a lot of football ratings.
Yeah.
So, well, the alternative to football is all the other shit that's on Thursday night too, which is also a lot of genre stuff now, or a little bit more than it used to be, where it used to just be comedies. Fair enough.
And I think also Lucifer, they're putting on the big boy pants and thinking this show is strong enough that it can lead the night instead of having to pick up,
Right.
and whether or not and try to hold an audience from the show that leads into it.
And maybe that's a show that's, better than I give it credit for, or it's holding its own in a particular way that it's going to, blow up next season.
Yeah, Lucifer's a good show in that it does have a nice running narrative, but it's also a straight up procedural, so it kind of plays to both ends.
Fair enough. And now what's happening on Fridays? Because you had something about Fridays, right?
Basically going through this quick. Tuesdays, we got Lethal Weapon at 8, Flash at 8, and Legends of Tomorrow at 9.
Okay.
Wednesdays, I'm trying to think. Goldberg is staying at 8. Blacklist is moving to 8 o'clock. Riverdale is at 8. We got Dynasty.
Oh, right. Okay.
Dynasty reboots coming.
Forgot. I don't know how I forgot. You watched the trailer for that? Because you asked me if I watched it. I don't think I asked you.
Yes, I did.
Oh, and how it's exactly what we think it is?
It's a CW show.
Fair enough. Right. It's like every other one.
Yeah.
Except they have more money this time.
You know what it was? It's a WB show. It looks like...
Oh, wow. We're rolling back the clock a little bit. I got you.
It looks like what CW was before they realized, people like superheroes.
Right. Remember when we used to do stuff like this, kids?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Time capsule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the other big thing is Arrow is moving from Wednesdays at 8 to Thursdays at 9.
Another silly move, I feel like.
And instead of going in front of Supernatural, it's going behind it.
Well, whatever at this point, because they know more than I do. They've got more charts and information to back them up for these crazy decisions. Yeah. I don't know. It just always seems to me like a lot of good shows later on, we always kind of point to, well, when they changed the time slot and they jerked it all around,
Well,
that's usually when fandom usually has a hard time.
Well, it just seems like whatever core audience, like they just either don't find it, or that's when they start to kind of lose track with it. I don't know.
The Young Sheldon spin-off of Big Bang Theory.
I'm not even going to entertain this conversation. I'm not even going to fucking...
So what were you saying about Fridays?
Whatever. Yeah.
There's a new Law and Order.
Unless that show ends with every episode like he was dead the whole time, I don't care.
There's a new Law and Order series. It's true crime about the Menendez brothers.
Okay, like a long form. Yeah. Kind of like just follow that for a season.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's going to be like the OJ.
Right.
Show.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just going to be
this particular story.
Yeah.
Their crack.
The Menendez
and
brothers.
we're not going to get to see John Travolta with stupid eyebrows on.
We'll get somebody else though, even less cool. Probably.
Yeah. Who's playing the lawyer in that? I want to say it's Felicity Huffman.
I don't know.
I don't know what was funny about that OJ show. If it was John Travolta with the eyebrows,
right?
Or the fact that they actually gave David Schwimmer a job.
It's everybody.
Or the fact that they were both on screen at the same time.
Well, it's like Cuba Gooding was supposed to be a convincing OJ. Like I didn't watch any of it, so I can't knock it too hard.
As long as you just don't.
Think about it too much.
His size.
Right. As long as you don't get obsessive about it in your head, and just let it be its thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's literally a third the size of the guy he's
that's
playing.
what I mean.
Yeah.
But
not intimidating at all.
Also, reboots. We're getting a CBS is launching a new version of SWAT.
Okay.
Thursdays at 10.
All right. Next.
Yeah. They're just going to destroy that.
Let's swat that away right now.
Yeah, that'll just be like everything else on their network.
Fridays, The Exorcist was renewed.
Okay.
We still got,
interesting.
So they got MacGyver, Hawaii Five-0, and Blue Bloods on CBS.
All right.
The Taken show got renewed, and the big thing on Friday at 9 o'clock is Marvel's The Inhumans.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it sounds like from what I've been hearing lately is bound to fail.
Well, they're going really...
They're going to swing for it hard. And the question is, is that going to pay off? Because I think like ABC's got like a weird track record with some sci-fi and genre stuff where when they do go hard and heavy, somehow they still end up missing. But I don't know. And is it going to last on Friday nights? It's an eight episode commitment.
Well, yeah.
So they'll power through it.
Yeah, and it's going to be an 8-episode series. They're filming the whole thing in IMAX. The first 2 episodes are going to be released exclusively in IMAX theaters.
Oh, the whole run is in IMAX.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because they want.
I'm sorry,
like if you have a 4K TV, this show is going to look incredible.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
that's
That wig is
basically
going to
what I
look
heard,
amazing.
But now here's the tricky part. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Is going to be airing on Fridays, but it's not going to be premiering until January. But they're still going to do a full 22-episode season.
so they'll have longer runs, I guess, or something of uninterrupted.
Well, just they won't have any breaks. They're just
That's what I
gonna go
mean.
straight. Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll use that to their advantage. You know, they're getting a lot of respect this season for having improved their storyline or just having a good story run this season.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't jump into any of it really. I think I might have been there for the season open. I don't even know if I was.
This also puts the show in people's minds during a period of time when we're watching and hearing about more superhero movies.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, who knows? Maybe this will work out where they can kind of time some kind of like, you know, special connection to something going on in the movies more. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Friday nights is usually kind of a rough night for genre shows, but like you said before, the threshold is different.
Also, Fridays, Once Upon a Time moves to Fridays at 8.
Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares?
So, no, we have some people who
You
listen
think?
to the show
Well-
who I'm sure...
Well,
If
once
those-
upon a time, someone did care.
Exactly. Well, that Bob hit it on the fucking head. But you know, it's more like, look, if you care about that show, write us an email and let us know you exist as a listener of this show. Because I think the only person I know for a fact who did care was Dom, and you know, he was the only voice of reason for some of those kinds of shows. So, moving on, sir.
Yes. Now, another show, this leads right into it, that's going to be a mid-season replacement
Yeah,
on the CW is Black Lightning. Now, did you guys see this trailer?
I saw it.
Your thoughts?
I don't know. I wonder if the things I see that feel clunky in it are just because it's suffering from pilot episode clunkiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if it's something that's like is going to, you know, really kind of find itself in a couple episodes in and settle in, and because some of the acting and dialogue feels like a little stilted, maybe.
Well,
but I don't know.
That might be going par for a lot of these shows now. It looks like they're getting younger and younger actors. They don't necessarily have a lot of the experience that they might have had in the past.
Yeah, and the guy who plays him,
what's in Firestorm, the black kid.
Yeah,
When we first saw him on Flash, we kind of
yeah,
made
he
fun
was
of him.
rough. Yeah,
he was
'cause
very rough.
He's rough.
But given time, you get comfortable with the character.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
I think that's part of it too. I think the show probably, I don't know.
Yeah, Cress Williams is the star.
'Cause-
Plays Jefferson Pierce.
And he's no kid, because the hook on this is that for a while he was a superhero, and then because he got hurt and you know he's got a wife and she convinces him to give it up, so he gives it up for a while, and eventually they pull him back in. So he's been off the grid for a while. So you know, he looks like he's like in his 30s somewhere.
Well, the actor's 47.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's looking younger than that. He's
Yeah.
looking around 40. I feel like,
He's-
even with the beard he's got going on and
Yeah,
stuff.
I was gonna say, looking at the show, I didn't believe he was old enough to have teenage daughters, but now seeing
But it turns out he is.
Yeah.
Right. When he is talking to his daughter, it's a little bit like, yeah. Okay.
And
you were young.
I do like the take. It does feel very much like a response to Luke Cage. 'Cause
A little bit. I mean, it's got more of an urban feel than anything else on that network.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But it's not super steeped in it, I don't
Yeah,
think. We'll
and
have to wait and see.
It's much more the fact that this is he's a teacher, so he's dealing with kids in the school.
Right. He's very involved in the community and stuff
Yeah.
like this. During that time when he wasn't a hero, he probably more of his focus ended up
Yeah.
into that, and so he'll be carrying this whole new set of baggage probably into the second stage of being a hero.
Yeah, and also they hint that his daughters inherit his powers, so there's going to be kind of like a family.
Here's the
dynamic
thing:
here.
if they can gear this show so it feels less like you're trying to talk to teens and 20-somethings, and maybe say we're trying to talk to 20-somethings and 30-somethings, then it'll actually feel different on the network. Otherwise, it's going to feel very much the same after a while.
Right,
It'll
it's
feel
gonna be
cool and different in the beginning, when you're getting used to it all, and then real
Right.
quick it'll feel like all the other shit.
It becomes preachy.
It becomes preachy, or it just becomes okay. It's a superhero show where like what was cool about it and different, and the angle is
Right,
no
it's
longer
that interesting.
because they don't do anything with it or reinforce it or keep it around. We're just caught up now in the storylines and the storylines and the storylines, which sometimes with these shows you have to a little bit of time of building them up, like they don't do much of anything else besides just chase these overly complex, big, who's the villain and who are the new people in town and how will they all turn out to either fuck us over or be something that we thought they were, but they're not. Like all this kind of point being like some humanity in some of these shows, and like how like Spider-Man is supposed to show you the struggle of trying to balance that with being a kid, or like with Black Lightning, it'd be nice to see him the struggle of trying to balance being a hero with being a dad on a small level sometimes, as opposed to just like, well, the villain found out that's my daughter and I gotta save her, as opposed to like, I'm just trying to get home on time because my kid's gonna get up for school. And I got to be to work too, but it's
Right.
It's about 6 a.m. on a Tuesday night, and I'm out here cracking skulls.
Yeah, and it's really really got to be a working man who moonlights as a hero, and not the other way around, which is what most of the other shows.
But and I just feel like something that seems like a cool thing I might see some of, like I'll never get enough of. But where are we going next?
Yeah, now
okay.
I am really really excited. Because a trailer dropped this week, and I don't know if anyone knows, but we've been kind of hinting at this for a while, and I was so happy to see.
Okay.
There's a new Star Trek show, and it's on Fox. It's gonna be Thursday nights at 9:00.
What?
It's a comedy and stars Seth MacFarlane, and it's one of the best Star Trek shows I've seen in years.
Yeah.
Star Trek. What's it called?
It's called Star Trek: The Orville.
Right. Named after Redenbacher, I think. First ship to get a first name.
Exactly.
Naming.
It's Seth MacFarlane, Adrian Palicki.
It's going to be his best Star Trek show.
Oh, my God. I'm so,
that you never knew you wanted.
It's back on TV and in a fresh new way that I'm really happy for.
So, but what about that other show?
What are you talking about?
Isn't there some other Star Trek show?
No.
Oh,
what?
No, we're just
No.
No.
Well, there's this thing called Discovery that was supposed to be on CBS. So that was like the original title of it.
Are you blacking that out?
Well, I tried watching the trailer like 5 times, and then just it ended, and I didn't remember seeing it.
Oh, weird how that happened. Psychologists might have some issues with you.
I think that's what happens when you see crap.
When you see something so
Too
traumatic,
much.
such a flip of the logic of the world that you live in.
Yeah.
Sometimes the brain can't handle it, and it reinvents some other elements and merges them up. So I think maybe you've combined these two things together: Seth MacFarlane's new show and his tragic new Star Trek Discovery show that sent you into like some kind of like coma-like mental state.
Well, you see, the issue is because they've just disregarded every single thing that has ever happened in Star Trek before, when in laying out, designing, thinking about, scratching, wiping their asses with this show.
Right.
Bill, you want to explain to the listeners what happened when I entered your apartment last night?
You came in like a screaming, kicking little girl. Like you, kind of. Maybe not that intense. But you were like,
it was more like
you need to back up further.
I believe the term
you are so following it in there. You should be like this. Better. Much better.
I believe the term I used was red ass.
Something about red ass. I don't even know what that means, but you were just like...
I think that was the name of the captain on the new one, right? Isn't that? No.
So, how... Okay.
Let's
Let's break it down for reals. How bad is Star Trek Discovery? Does it just make absolutely no sense? Did you? How many times did you watch it?
About.
I mean, like a lot. Like seriously, like you watched it a good number of times.
Yeah.
And did you?
You like to suffer, don't you?
You're just trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, it was like I went Michael Rappaport on it. Like just kind of I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm trying to take this in, and the only words that come to mind are "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah. I don't get it because it's not what I was expecting.
When did the Klingons become the fish people?
Now, okay, so I'm a Star Trek purist.
And did you?
So okay. I'm like I.
Oh, you got to spit it out.
I know I take this very personally, and I know a lot of people are not going to understand the issues I have.
Sure,
but like,
I think we can all relate though in some degree because we've all had things we've cherished that get adapted or readapted and kind of really shift.
There are things that are cool and you can bend the rules for storytelling, but when you're going to completely disregard things where something is not going to make it better, it's only going to upset the people who know what should happen. Right. And it's my main 3 issues are that this is a prequel again. Like, there's no reason for this to be a prequel if they're going to be doing this kind of thing. The fact that the last 3 iterations of Star Trek are prequels,
let's take them one point at a time.
Yeah.
My counterpoint to that would be like, it almost doesn't matter. I would say for me, it doesn't matter anymore about whether it's prequel or postquel. Let's say, because if it's open area that we haven't explored, it's got potential. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. Granted, if you do prequel, you have to work harder to insert it properly into pre-existing canon, so it becomes more of a challenge, and then it has potential to be cooler. But for me, you can go in either direction.
Also, you're painting yourself in a corner because there's no danger that Earth is going to be destroyed.
Fair enough.
Or that anything really tragic or the stakes go down a lot.
Yeah, they do on a grand scale.
Yeah.
But the stakes for all of the cast on a particular show could still be pretty much open. Like if you get to like those people, they could still all fucking die.
And going from that, the fact that it's a prequel, and all of the Starfleet uniforms and nomenclature.
Yeah, I watched a couple of people online freak out about that.
Nothing like the Kirk era or the Pike era, which is actually when this is taking place, around when Captain Pike was commanding the Enterprise.
Yep.
Makes no sense. Like if you wanted to do this, these guys should be in yellow and blue shirts with the ribbed turtlenecks,
with the gold,
the heavy cotton shirts,
the sweat machines.
Yeah,
they look like the most uncomfortable pieces, like cardboard.
Yeah, not even the polyester ones that came later.
Right.
Yeah, and is the Klingons. Like they redesigned the Klingons.
So
and
I think I missed it that it was officially Klingon though. Does he say I'm a Klingon?
No, like when producers were asked, and that's a Klingon. Also, they said we've engaged the Klingons, and then they show a bunch of clips of these aliens saying, so these are the Klingons.
But that dude who's on the ship though.
Yeah.
Who at the end is like, I've been bred to sense death.
No, that's not.
That's not a Klingon.
No,
okay. Because that dude was goofy looking.
Yeah, and isn't that one line of dialogue kind of telling? It's like, oh, it's the Klingons. Because what were we talking about with bad dialogue yesterday?
Well, that's just how clunky it is and stuff like that.
You know what I mean? And that could very well be a line of
them
just being that
so
clunky.
Yeah, because we feel like we have to reinforce what we've done.
I would understand if they did like the next gen era Klingons in here because.
We're trying to kind of update the look or something.
Also because the original series versions, they just threw brown makeup all over them.
Right.
And that just was budget restrictions.
Right, they just look like Pakistani. That's all that ended up being. or from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Right. But that period was explained later as being a combination of DNA from basically...
Like there was like two
Khan
kind of families.
and his men. Extra guys from that group. Mixed with Klingon DNA.
Okay.
And their DNA being so superior overtook the Klingon DNA.
Right,
then it became an issue for Klingons to filter this stuff out for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And eventually that's what they did, and hence that's what the Klingons are supposed to look like in on the Enterprise D.
Okay, the original series
in Next Generation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they explain it at the end of Enterprise.
So
that's how they,
okay.
So
somebody finally made sense of that.
Yeah. So for them to be looking like the ones from Enterprise D on the Next Generation would make sense.
Okay.
Making them look like the fish people or like some really bad, like overdone versions of the man. Was it the man from the sea?
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, because that's really what it looks like.
Yeah, kind of.
And if this show had been set 100 years after Voyager ended, I would not have half these problems.
You could make him look like anything.
Yeah.
Right, look at Bob's like, hands up. Yes, exactly. But
reaching to the choir, motherfucker.
Reaching to the choir, motherfucker. So here's the thing for me too, because it's glaringly obvious, because this is what they were telling us, was that it's going to take place right before original series, and he kind of listed like some event or whatever that's like in Star Trek lore or history. It's around this other period or something. My point being that like this is not what anybody was expecting, because not only is this all aesthetically looking like that, they were also shooting it way too modern with the lens flares, and it looks more JJ than JJ in some sequences in the trailer.
Yeah, and actually some of that stuff looked cool.
Like if you told me it was
if you didn't tell me it was Star Trek, I'd be like, oh wow, this is interesting.
This is a new sci-fi show worth watching. Okay.
Yeah.
Or it's a new ship. You know what I mean? Or something else. This is some lateral turn, whatever.
Yeah. And please, someone come on this show or email me and tell me I'm wrong. I
Yeah.
want to like this show.
I want to be wrong.
I want to be wrong, and I hope I am. But this is just my gut reaction to the trailer,
And,
it's not hopeful.
Ed, I never really jumped the gun this early with Star Trek,
Yeah.
but
It's kind of hard not to have a
yeah.
knee-jerk reaction to this much difference.
Yeah,
it's hard not to.
Yeah, they're just going. They don't care about anything that happened before 2000 and what was the first latest movie?
2009.
2009, basically.
All right. Well, still gonna have to wait it out and take a look, see. But if they're really trying to push that this is in the straight up continuity, it's like
I liked Enterprise. Okay, most people didn't.
It's been a long road. Getting from
First two seasons
there
were
to
rough.
here.
3 and 4 kind of came together. That's why Peter Weller was a great villain on an episode of Enterprise about 10 years before he did Into Darkness.
Yeah. Well, Peter Weller, he's always pretty good. Not a great, but if you ever see him in anything and he's a good guy, no, he's not. No, he's not. If he's ever the guest on a TV episode of anything, you know what I mean? Once he's like, I saw him on 24 or whatever. I think he was on there for a while. I was like, yeah, okay. Like, we don't know he's going to be the bad guy. Like, come on. All right. So that's going to wrap it up for the news, basically. We're going to move on to other things, but those other things are also a little news-ish. It's more trailer talk. We've been flip-flopping between trailer trash and trailer of the week kind of thing because...
Well, I thought we picked a trailer of the week. And
we
then you're
did.
like, let's just mention the contenders.
Well, let's mention the contenders. Let's do that then.
Well,
Yeah.
we did pick trailer trash. There's trailer trash in,
There-
in there as well.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. I think,
So the trailer of the week is The House, starring...
of the ones we watched this week,
Starring Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler.
this is the standout.
Yeah, this is one that seems to be trying to work a little bit like The Hangover, a little bit like Old School.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's it's...
I'm sorry.
But
You talk, you push it away. You talk, you bring it back.
Yeah. So The House is red. It was a Red Band trailer, so you got to see. Sorry, I get distracted.
Me and Bobby are playing
So the
microphone
basic
stand
story
games.
is Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler play parents
Yes.
who realize they cannot pay their kids' college tuition.
Yeah, that shit's steep, yo.
Yeah,
Well, the kid's going to Berkeley, so.
yeah, and decide to turn their house into an underground casino.
Who is the dude that talks him into it? Matt
Jason Matzoukis.
Well, how do you say it?
Jason Matzoukis.
Matzoukis.
Who-
I think that we're going to find out at the end that his friend was actually secretly a terrorist trying to destroy the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Matzoukis talks about trying hard not to get cast as a terrorist too.
Oh, really?
He talks about that a lot. He says, "It's the fucking beard, man."
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I think so.
He's on the How Did This Get Made podcast.
Yeah. He's a stand-up. He's been around for a while. You'll recognize me if you see him. But I thought the trailer I saw before this movie was funnier than this one. Although this one shows you a little bit more.
Yeah.
But this was still looking
Well,
good.
the real thing is that one scene with the axe where they
I feel like they show you too much of that
Yeah, that's classic Will Ferrell, and I think they show you that moment
to let you know.
that
You got a bunch. You might have more of that.
You're gonna have a little bit of an over the top humor moment.
Yeah. Now the problem with I've always had with a lot of Will Ferrell performances, I think he's really good in other people's movies,
Okay.
and I feel like in a lot of movies where he's the star or he's like the big name in it, he's really good at improv. And this is an editing thing; it's not even his fault. I feel like a lot of his stuff, they show one beat too far. They try to drag out the joke.
Yeah.
And if you just cut it like two sentences earlier, it
Yeah.
would be much tighter.
Yeah.
But that's part of the style of comedy now with the movies and TV. A lot of that thanks to someone you're going to be watching on Fox in that fabulous Star Trek
Oh yes,
show.
the
Seth
Orville.
MacFarlane.
The Orville.
He's famous for taking humor one step too far, but still making it funny.
It's not a movie, but that's actually the trailer of the week. Probably is for
The
Fox's
Orville.
new series, The Orville.
Yeah,
You can look
absolutely.
up that, folks. But
and I get a feeling that that's going to be just to digress one more moment. that's going to be Fox's kind of gift to him for making so much money for them.
Oh, it totally
Yeah,
is.
it's like,
So was,
what did you want to do? What's your pet project?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
no problem.
Well, he did that one already. That was Cosmos.
I hope that show's on forever.
Yeah. It can only get better, folks. All right. So that is The House.
Yes.
That is The House.
That
And a
is-
lot of crazy comedy in it, in the vein of what's the frat ones that
Old
were just
School.
like Old School and all this kind of like crazy comedy
Animal
shit.
House.
And that too. So then also this week we looked at Battle of the Sexes
Yes.
and Okja, which is a Netflix movie. Okja.
Okja.
Well, both definitely worth checking out as trailers, but the one to keep an eye on is The House. That'll be the one movie probably everyone will be
Yes.
talking about.
Yeah. Okja looks like it's going to be kind of unique, but maybe
Yeah.
may end up being preachy.
Yeah, it's possible. Everyone already, a lot of people point that out right away. That it's like, oh, what is it, like a vegetarian's ward,
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around now.
But yeah, I mean, everybody's got an angle. Everyone's got a voice now. So, welcome to the world of the internet. Let's see. So that's gonna wrap up the trails. But yeah, the house,
Yeah.
The House. Well, we also got stuff in the meanwhile. Meanwhile,
I went to the movies this week.
you did? Did you see anything at the movies, or
Yeah.
did you just go to the movies and stand outside
Well,
and then decide to go in?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw him outside looking like he was a deadhead. He had a little sign that said, "Do you have my miracle?"
That's it. And playing
Yeah,
hacky sack by himself,
Looking for a ticket.
probably.
I would never play hacky sack.
I would never play hacky sack.
That's the only part of that. You had me right up until then, Bob.
Well, the hacky sack was my idea. Bob was good. When I got involved, then it got stupid. So, what do you got?
Okay.
What'd you see?
I saw Alien Covenant.
You did
Yes.
you? And
Yes.
well,
Yeah,
what would
what's the deal?
what's the deal? Tell us about it.
I thought it was okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basic story. People might not know. This
Oh,
is a
in case somehow you didn't know.
yes. It is. It's an alien movie
Yeah.
that is actually a sequel to Prometheus.
Okay.
So the whole title and the way this franchise organizes itself is really confusing.
Sure.
Me. But that
No more than
besides-
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. So, it's a group of colonists on their way to a planet they know they will be able to terraform and turn into a paradise. for
Sure. They know
themselves.
it's an oxygen-bearing planet
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. They get something happens that wakes up the crew, and someone, an accident occurs,
Okay.
and they realize there's this signal coming from a planet that was hidden away and they did not know about, that they think might actually be just as inhabitable as the one that's still 8 years away. So they
Okay.
decide to check it out, and there they discover David from Prometheus, and xenomorphs and craziness ensues.
Oh my Gersh.
Yes.
Oh my Gersh. Okay.
Yes.
So all right. So it's not the planet they were intending to go to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Couple takeaways.
Mm-hmm.
This movie would have ended a lot sooner if they just shot Billy Crudup in the face.
What, was this like in the first 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I know enough from the
Yeah,
trailers, and
yeah.
I can extrapolate what that's all about.
Yeah. So he's James Franco
Yeah.
as gives a great performance, even though he dies 30 seconds in.
Okay. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Well, if you actually, the fact that you even mention him, and then people are probably like, "Oh, he's in that."
He's in that.
Not
Oh,
really.
yeah.
He's not really in it. But
Danny McBride is fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
fun but not funny, which is good.
yes.
Which is good.
Catherine Waterston plays the lead, and
Yeah.
like they go even down to like her short hair. It's like so obvious that she's meant to be Ripley.
Yeah. She's like this Ripley.
She's not Ripley, but she's the
just
Ripley
just
stand-in.
visual and personality wise, kind
Yeah.
of like archetype. Like now that's just like a hard
Yeah.
archetype.
Tall, lean, short, dark hair.
Yeah.
But she's actually kind of small, right? She's not tall. Like
I don't know.
I get the feeling.
Sigourney is six
Well, that's what I mean.
6'1".
Yeah,
She's
Sigourney's,
really
Sigourney's a fairly tall woman, and I kind of get the feeling that she's a little bit shorter. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, she's at average tallness for a woman would be 5'7", 5'8", and that would still be.
for Sigourney, yeah. I'm talking
Yeah.
about this actress being smaller.
Yeah.
Well,
but
never mind.
yeah, the design of this movie is gorgeous, as
Right.
all Ridley Scott's movies are.
Right.
The action scenes are good. There are a bunch of stuff that takes place at night, and the way the lighting is, it's really hard to see what happens.
Okay.
So,
It's a lot of that darkness on purpose.
Yeah.
To help just
Yeah.
obfuscate or whatever the word is.
Yeah, and what's funny, like David comes in about, I would say, a third to maybe even halfway through the movie, and completely turns the story upside down.
All right.
And it's really interesting to see where his story goes.
All right.
But it almost feels like it's part of a different movie.
Okay.
And the climax is, the action stuff is really good, but the climax of the movie, it's a good action scene, but it left me unsatisfied. I feel like you could have had one more big moment.
I saw a little bit of mixed stuff on it online. All right, so what would you give it though?
So but I think overall I enjoyed it. It has one really cool twist at the end.
Well, don't tell people
that I will not spoil.
But you just did by telling him it's there. So move on. That's the secret of a twist. It should be a secret.
Okay.
We'll work on that in the after school.
All right, fine. So I'm gonna give this 3 American tacos.
All right, that's a recommendation, folks.
Recommendation.
Check it out.
Yes, and I'm sure Jay's gonna tear my head off and tell me I'm wrong, because I know he really liked this movie.
Is he in the chat room right now? He probably is already.
Jay, no, but I know James is. I think James might be going to see it tonight, actually. But you and Jay had a little bit of an exchange last night when we recorded the Star Wars thing off mic. You and Jason. Yeah, you guys had an exchange.
Another alien thing taking place in outer space, by the way.
So much space out there.
It is the final frontier.
By the way, I'm looking through the chat a little bit, and I see that Meow God is moving to Cambodia.
Oh.
Which is another 2 time zones away. Wow. So he's going to be listening to the show at 5 in the morning. If he's still up at that time.
Wow.
Well, I think it was already a challenge for him now to listen.
Yeah, but I think at this point he could just decide to wake up at 4:45 in the morning, listen to the show,
versus staying up.
Right.
It's either waking up for it early or staying up late to catch it.
Right. Maybe even go back and take a nap after the show.
Yeah. That's funny. All right.
But we're still thankful he's listening to the show.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a trooper.
The fact that when I see Meow got in there, it's one of the things that pops into my head pretty quickly. It's like dawn for this kid, or even earlier. Yeah. So as far as other stuff in the meanwhile, though, I really don't got much. I'm still checking out Fargo. Fargo's still holding up.
Good, man.
Fargo's pretty good. I mean,
David Thewlis.
All I keep thinking about when I watch Fargo is like I could see. It's this thing that echoes in the back of my head. I feel like I can see why other people would be like, "Why are you watching this?" Like, what is the cool aspect of this show that makes you continue to watch this? Not that it's lost on me, but I can see from an outsider, someone who really didn't give it a chance or something. Like it just seems so very basic and simple and like it's not. It's just one of these things where it's like when the wheel twists every episode, like because that's how episodes feel. Like, oh, what's going to happen this week? Where's this all going this week? Like, what's going to be? Because it feels like every week there's some kind of just crazy scene or moment or some kind of flip of things, and it's just like, oh, okay. When I see that rotten tooth bastard picking his teeth with the toothpick now, and like he's got these British the fuck up teeth. His teeth are all nasty.
It's David Thewlis.
Those are his real teeth too. Yeah. They gray him up though a little bit. He's got nasty teeth to begin with. I think is his thing. Real British choppers on that guy, but it's just so fucking nasty. It's so gross because they know and they have him keep his mouth open a little bit all the time when he talks, and it's all right there. It's all 3/4 close up, so you see plenty of his teeth there.
But
he's like the bad guy, and so it's like he's got to have these moments where it's just like you're staring in his face as he's talking slow and low.
But like each season has that one guy who, when he shows up, everyone shuts up. In the last one, it was the black guy who kept saying Lewis Carroll rhymes.
Yeah. Like, it's him, and then in season 1, it's Billy Bob. Yeah. But every season's got this one guy, and he's not always super central.
No.
But there's always one bad motherfucker where either everything is swirling around him, or he's just coming in from the outside. But there's always, but he's there.
Yeah.
And he's there for the long of it. And this time it's like, I got a feeling he's going to probably get crazy with him on the back end, maybe. So that's it for me for that stuff.
Would that be because you didn't watch Flash yet?
That would be. Bob's scolding me on the radio. I just want you to know, Ed. Bob was like, "You haven't been watching Flash. You got to keep up with the Flash. You got to watch it."
Listen, man.
And he's like, "Not for nothing. The DC TV report's not enough because there's more going on, and it's like you should be on top of it."
Actually, my point about the DC TV report was when you were going to hear that before
I
you watched the
actually
show.
watched it. Right.
I concur. I concur because all the CW superhero shows had their penultimate episodes this week.
That's right.
And shit. And I always find penultimate episodes are better than the finales. That's
They
where
usually
the
are.
shit goes down.
Because that's when the shifts happen, and then they fight it out the next week. Like, you find out all the revelation type stuff, and then next week we'll kick his ass about it. You know what I mean?
Especially Flash, because the thing you didn't think was going to happen actually happened. You're like, what the fuck now? Like, where do we go from here?
You know, and for me, it'll be like, well, and how are they going to undo this? It was some bullshit maneuver. Because that's usually what happens with me with TV, right?
This is that negative. This is that negative.
Maybe they won't. Fair enough. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. But this is my thing with TV that they always do to me. They do something that I think is bold and refreshing and a change and shows balls. But you know what? It's just because we knew how we would undo it 2 weeks from now, or when the show comes back next season. And so this big death that you thought was going to mean something, or this revelation that you thought was so fucking cool, no, bitch, it's all a fucking dream. Or it's all some cockamamie fucking side story that you just didn't know about because we didn't show you. And it's all retro fucking writing. It's all like...
You just explained why I stopped watching Blacklist.
Well, there you go. Well, maybe that's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? And I know it shows like delve in that as the hook, as like we're just going to constantly flip it and flip it and flip it and flip it and flip it. Like those, they burn themselves out sometimes. I mean, I don't watch Scandal, but from what I understand, Scandal is built on that, where it's like, hey, they just blow your mind every week. So yeah, shit, it's crazy engaging, but after a while, you kind of get like, okay, my head's been spinning so much, my neck is hurting.
Well, it's, Stan Lee used to always say, you don't change anything, you create the illusion of change.
Well, that's always, that's how we, that's a life lesson.
All right. You want to review the chat room game?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm just going to throw these out.
All right. Hit me with them.
Boys, give me one-word replies.
Okay.
Blade Friends. Oh, by the way, the hashtag was Ridley Scott a movie.
Right. Mash up a movie or a TV show?
Yeah, a Ridley Scott a TV show.
Fair enough.
Blade Friends. How I Meet Your Xenomorph.
I like it.
Okay.
Saved by the Predator.
All right.
Last Replicant Standing.
Oh.
Smurfs Covenant.
Okay.
Game of Hannibal. Kingdom of Bayside.
Okay.
What's that Kingdom of what, though?
Oh, the Kingdom of Heaven.
Kingdom of Heaven. Okay.
Matchstick Madmen.
Yeah.
Better Call Ripley.
Okay.
Exodus Real World and Road Rules.
I think he's mixing up MTV shows now.
Batman the Animated Xenomorph.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Buffy the Predator Slayer.
Nice. I like that mashup. That's actually something Dark Horse is probably going to put out eventually.
American Xenogods.
Nice.
Okay.
Courage the Replicant Dog.
I'll give it. I like it.
1492 Conquest of Gotham. Hanging with Mr. Hannibal.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I like it.
There you go.
The Walking Martian.
Nah. Okay.
Two Broke American Gangsters.
I feel like that's my story.
The Alien Diaries. You can't do that on the Orient Express.
Can't do that on the television.
Sounds kinky.
And then two from Meow before he knew what we were actually doing.
Okay.
There's something about E.T.
Okay.
And Fast and Ferengi.
He's wrong, but I like it though. If you can hear the sound of my voice, well, you're one of the lucky ones, because right now, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service, just for you, listeners of the Wicked Theory podcast. You guys can get your hands on Audible copies of anything by Stephen King, basically, The Hobbit, or Arthur C. Clarke. You like 2001? Imagine that in your ears. What would that sound like? Well, you guys can check it out now over at audibletrial.com/Wicked Theory. Check it out now. This is the sound,
Uh-oh.
ladies and gentlemen,
I say uh-oh, but I bought them.
of another pack of wacky Oreos.
Do we have any soda left, or did you kill it?
Soda?
I might not have put a bottle in the fridge, so it's up there. You have to get some ice cubes.
Ed is like, I need to wash this down. I know that already. So this time we are opening a pack of firework Oreos. Limited edition. These have popping candy inside the cream filling. Yes, kids, basically Pop Rocks, as far as I can tell, or presume. Pop Rocks inside your Oreos, because why not, I guess, at this point. Hey, Brother Bob, take one of these Mama Jams.
All right, let's take a look at one of these.
All right, I'm going to take myself one of these. Ed's fixing himself a soda.
It looks like it's got a decent amount of frosting, and I guess it would have to because it does have basically Pop Rocks inside, right?
Yeah, well, that's
So this is like a double stuff.
This is
much.
almost a double stuff, I think.
If that's almost a double stuff, we definitely live in a bad world.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be that.
All right.
Oh, there it goes. So I'm just working on the icing straight. Bob's eating a cookie whole. Ed's eating a half. And there you go. Pop Rocks in my mouth. Haven't had this happen in a while.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because you guys got a cookie going.
You got to stop chewing for a while.
Yeah. Because they're not.
Yeah.
It's not like a pack of Pop Rocks where you would just have big chips of Pop Rocks. So you get these big pops. These are all tiny little pops.
These are all tiny little pops. It's like crackling in your mouth.
I don't even think I can put them on the mic. I don't think.
I've only eaten half the cookie, swallowed it, and I can still feel it popping in my mouth, like the coating.
Yeah.
So it is. They are small.
Yeah, I don't think.
Kids are gonna love this.
Yeah, I don't think the mic can pick it up at all. But
Well, let's see. Give me a minute.
But I feel like when my mouth is closed and my tongue is on the roof of my mouth, that's when like.
Ed's about to shut down the show with diet soda.
Did you spill shit on my fucking table? Sorry. You fucking heathen. Amateur hour. Oh my God. This table is a family heirloom.
No, it's not.
In Dom's family. Because that's where this table came from. All right, so, all right, like, what do we think?
All right.
Well, I mean, it's cookies.
Yeah, they still taste the same. So
the real test.
Palmer says that table has seen some shit.
If anyone's seen Urban Legend,
Uh-huh.
yeah, the whole idea,
Well,
Pop Rocks and
soda.
soda will make your stomach explode.
Oh, that's what you're going for?
Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm drinking
Oh.
diet soda already.
I mean, if you were going to do that, we could have just done that.
Yeah. So here goes.
Okay. All right. All right, so
these are basically just regular Oreos. They just have a little bit of that pop rockiness to them.
mixed into the cream.
Kids are gonna love it. I think they should probably do them every year.
If you're looking for a reason to not make the kids, like this is just going to make them,
I think this will make them
like-
want Oreos more.
just because now there's a goof thing going on, or there's a weird thing going on. It's
Right.
like, yeah, I don't need to eat anymore. I don't really want anymore, but I want
Right.
to kind of get, it's silly.
Right. It would be almost like this if they put like a sour center in there that had to be chewed through.
It's a
Taste-
trick. It's
right.
like it's a cookie
You know
that
what I
does
mean?
a trick. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like if this thing could do a flip or something every time, somehow.
I mean, the only thing is this one doesn't change the flavor at all. Most of the other stuff that they do changes the flavor.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's a
You
good
know?
point. Doesn't change the flavor at all. It's still very basic cream. Ed's trying suicide by Diet Coke and Pop Rock cookie.
I think I'm going to be okay.
That's what I kind of thought.
Yeah, me too. See, I didn't move. I'm next to you, and I didn't move. So.
Yeah, James is cheering you on. He's like, come on, Ed, you can prove it's true. Die on the show. Die on the show. Live.
You know what? I think we'll go
With
with
only
this.
like 4 people in the chat room. Damn. You got to wait till the room is full one day. Like when we got like, imagine.
Man, 5.
Like it does. Ooh. All right. So with that, we're gonna do something else. Oh,
Why does that keep happening?
well, I don't think they can hear it. I think it's through my headphones. I think it's coming in because I have the board hooked up a little differently, kicked through. So,
It's been driving me crazy. The
well,
last
it's
3
it's
weeks.
the notification inside the document of every time Palmer sends a
So
message.
basically, it's you've got mail.
Yeah, but I don't think they. I'm pretty sure they can't hear it. But now they'll probably tell us if they can or they can't. So that would be interesting. Let's do this. Let's remove something from the soundboard. I'm going to make a little switch in the soundboard. You're probably wondering why, but don't you worry about it. You'll find out soon enough. Bobby, give me some music. All right.
So yeah, these are just okay.
Well, yeah. Well, so what would you give them as a rating, or what are you thinking about?
I mean,
Yeah. Well, how would you rate the explosiveness? Since you were trying to get commit suicide, how was the explosiveness on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd give it like half a Van Damme movie.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. On an explosiveness scale,
Yeah,
you
I
give
mean,
it half of it.
he's more fight scenes.
On a scale of
than
1 to 10, he
explosions.
gives it the Van Damme movie. I totally understand.
I'll give it
gotcha.
following
Cool.
that logic, I'll give it like a straight to video Don the Dragon Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just not like you thought it was going to be cooler, and it's just not. You thought it would be more explosive, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's going for
It's
you know,
you kind of
and it knows it's second best. That's the thing too.
Yeah.
It knows it's second best.
you go in thinking it's going to be kind of like a Jet Li movie,
Right.
A kick in the mouth.
Sure, right.
But then it's more American Ninja.
yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's a good one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's not Jim Cotta.
Yeah, it's almost cool.
It's not Jim Cotta level bad, but it's almost. It's
Right.
it's American Ninja, which, you know, first one was all right. All right, so kids, guess what time it is?
What time?
It's time for lightning round.
Oh no!
You remember lightning round, kids, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hurry,
boy,
give
oh,
me
boy.
some more of those. I want to blow up.
Oh no! Don't hand them any cookies. Let's have no cookies. No cookies for this kid. It's lightning round. Okay, so who wants to go first? I'm going to ask questions here, and then I'm going to pass this sheet around. These questions are submitted by Wesley Ryan Gaskins.
I'll go first.
Wesley.
You'll go first, Ed.
Brave man right here. Brave man.
Brave man, Ed. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What brand of apple did the witch use to poison Snow White?
Apple.
Very good. What is Chewie's favorite snack?
Michael Dudikoff.
If Iron Man played an instrument, what would it be?
The flugelhorn.
What was the rejected title for Twilight?
Werewolves.
Okay. Which Doctor Who species is the scariest?
The Vogons.
How much money does Green Arrow spend on Lost Arrows?
Not enough.
Is there any speedster that is actually slower than the Flash?
Kid Flash.
How does Gandalf keep his robes white without bleach?
He doesn't.
How do the stormtroopers clean their suits?
Bleach.
What is the 8th rule in surviving a zombie apocalypse?
Don't die.
Don't-
It's also the first 7 rules.
These are the first 7 rules. Very good. Well, there you go, buddy. Ed survived a round of lightning round. I talked right over the lightning.
Oh. So you want to pass
Well,
that over?
technically, you're not hearing lightning. You're hearing thunder.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
So the lightning happened too fast.
You're right. Jesus Christ.
Holy crap!
Bob, you know what I'll do? I'll have Ed read yours to you. How about that?
Here we go. All right, so what popular song would have been a good theme song for Breaking Bad?
Batman.
What superhero villain could defeat Chuck Norris?
2 pounds of chopped meat.
How much did Spider-Man's costume cost?
40 rupees.
How often did Jedi lose their lightsabers?
More often than you would think.
What space-based TV show does the Doctor watch during his adventures?
Alice.
The TARDIS has infinite rooms, but what is least common to find?
An exit sign.
How many
That's probably fucking true.
How many seasons should Walking Dead run or have run until inevitably everyone dies?
27.
What is the most popular thing to replicate in Star Trek?
A good storyline.
What is Batman's favorite TV show?
Martha Stewart presents.
Martha Stewart. Okay.
Who wins in a space fight, Han Solo or Jean-Luc Picard?
R2D2.
There we go.
There we go. Is that it? That's 10?
That's 10.
Bob.
Oof.
Oof. Oof.
All right.
All right, so we're at the bottom three.
Yeah, bottom there. 10
third.
for me. I guess they're for me. Let me clear my throat. Strike up some lightning.
Right.
And then hit the music.
Bill,
Yeah.
who is the artist of them all?
Peebo Bryson.
What will cause the zombie outbreak that will destroy the world?
Ham and cheese sandwiches.
What would Marty McFly play as an encore to Johnny Be Good?
The theme from Different Strokes.
Which Earth is Barry Allen actually the fastest in? Barry Allen.
Last Earth.
Who is a better AI, Hal or Jarvis?
Vicky from Small Wonder.
What would you give to have Dr. Octopus's arms?
My 2 left feet.
How long does it take the hairstylist to come up with each design for Padme?
3 weeks in a day.
How many boobs have been shown on screen during Game of Thrones?
5.5.
How much does Joker spend on makeup each month?
Nothing. He steals that shit.
Of course he does. And last but not least, Bill,
Sure.
where did C-3PO's golden left arm end up?
It's stuck in a toilet he tried to fix back on Mugading Ding planet in the Flip-a-Flom sector.
All right, very good.
I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say that was it.
All right.
5.5?
5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, things happen on that show.
Yeah.
There's swords and stuff always swinging around, so sometimes, you get too close. You get in a personal space of somebody, and,
I thought you were going to go with a safer answer, like all of them.
I wouldn't be wrong. I wouldn't have been wrong. I'll tell you that much. All right, so guess what we do now, kids? I don't know. We played a little bit of game. I want to thank Wesley, Ryan Gaskins,
Thank
for
you,
sending
Wesley.
those in. If anybody else wants to drum up some lightning round questions and send them in, or
We
send
got to
in,
do a 30-question one for Wesley now.
yeah, we got to figure out something.
Just find him. Just randomly find his phone number
And just
and
call
just hit
him up.
him up with 30 questions.
Wesley, who's the best Smurf?
Now,
Ah,
say it. Say it.
I don't know. Too much pressure.
Tell me.
My dad. I don't know. So if you want to send in yours, you can send them to podcast@wickedtheory.com and just title the subject line so I know and I'll be able to find them easier. And also, if you want to send in opening lines like we do these goofy opening lines, yay, we're broadcasting live from a place within a place. You name the place within the place, make it kind of pop culture related, and we'll probably use it. You can send a bunch of those, send one of those, whatever you want to do, but put opening lines in the subject line again, so that I can find it, and I won't feel like a moron when I'm looking for it.
Here we go.
There we go. Speaking,
All right.
speaking of emails.
Oh yeah.
By the way, last week you said it over that so good, I was ready to cut it out by itself and just
Oh, yeah.
make that the new version. Because the timing on it is, I might still do it. I don't know. It was just,
yeah.
it just comes in really nice, So
Okay,
give
cool.
you-
Well,
give yourself a pat on the back for that.
well, I'll pat myself on the back when you actually decide to use it.
There you
It's
go.
that good.
Well, now I'm not gonna.
Just gets creepier and creepier.
This show? No, not this show. All right. So speaking of creepy, we've got emails from people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So first one's from Chad Rose.
Hey, Chad.
And Chad's got some questions here. Nice, simple, straightforward, to the point, roundtable questions.
More questions.
How, when you go on holidays, where do you go? Like, you have a regular place for vacations, I guess, is what he's saying? Like, we always go to the cabin up on, Mount Ding-a-Ding Hill or whatever it is,
The Batcave.
Exactly. I don't really have one myself.
No.
I guess
Not since that incident and
Kittatinny.
rapids.
Kittatinny. We can't go to that particular campground anymore, but
Little
there's plenty up.
PTSD.
There's plenty up there. It's got the chills thinking about it.
I'm sorry. You were going to say Ed? I
Oh
cut
no!
you
Is
off.
this sometimes I go visit my sister in Boston. But to me, a good idea of a vacation is just staying
Yeah.
home.
Do you go up there wearing a big ass Yankee shirt?
Let it be known. You're looking for trouble?
No, I don't go looking for trouble.
No.
I just they understand with my scowls.
It's Boston.
Just to wear a Bucky Dent Yankee jersey.
Just that general look of disdain whenever I walk into a bar.
Well, somehow they know you're from that town. That's the thing. It's Boston. You don't have to go looking for trouble. Trouble finds you. You know what I mean? It's like somebody starts with you. I got a feeling.
Yeah.
Well, that's the rep anyway.
Well, yeah, basically, you wear this jersey. I was saying you could probably just go by in the Popemobile.
Yeah.
and get pummeled.
Anything that says, because even if they just know you're from New York, they're going to presume. Next question is probably is, are you a Yankee fan?
Yeah,
bro. No good,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, bro.
No good.
What you doing, bro?
Tell your mom I said hi.
Yeah.
All right. Here's his next question. You just won $200 million. What's the first thing you buy?
I'm sorry, what was the amount?
$200 million.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out how many women I could have in my harem.
Well, that's a lot. I mean, it depends on where and how much you're paying, but I guess that answers my question. That question for Bob to a degree. First thing he buys is...
No. First thing I do is buy off my family.
That's kind of like where I go, too. I'm always like...
Leave me alone. Here's the money.
Right.
Here's the money you're going to ask me for the next 30 years, so just leave me alone.
Let's build the money wall and keep your distance now for a while. All right? Fight amongst yourselves if you have to. But
well, no, I've always said
because you're going to turn around in 2 more weeks and I'm going to be gone.
Well, no, I would be gone the moment I got the money.
Oh yeah. Just do it all from
I wouldn't
distance,
even.
right?
I wouldn't tell nobody
yeah,
I wouldn't tell nobody. I would disappear.
Right.
I would throw my cell phone away.
And then they would hear from my assistant.
I'd get a throwaway cell phone. I'd call him. I'd tell him I get a throwaway. I'd call him from Hawaii and I tell him where I was. And there's an account with your name on it.
Right.
It's got
Here's
this
the
much
info
in it.
And good luck.
Okay, yeah. This is money for you, money for you, money for you. Do what you got with it, what you will. But once it's gone, you're fucked.
Right. So see you later.
Don't ask.
That's it.
And then it would be the wife, the silicone girlfriend, the 20 cars in the garage.
Sure.
I would only have a small house.
$200 million. Yeah, I think right away first thing goes to kind of squaring up all that, the family.
Absolutely,
barrier.
family comes first. Take care of family.
Yeah,
But
for many
do,
different reasons.
Yeah, but do it from a distance because people act differently when you have money. It's
and
nothing against
and it's
nothing against people in your family.
And it's going to be hard enough to make decisions anyway. Get yourself a money advisor, and regardless of however much you love your family,
you get 2 money advisors,
and you make sure they're getting the same. You're getting the
well, no. That way,
like
one can make sure
opinion?
the other one doesn't rip you off.
Well, that's what I mean. Right. Second opinion type thing. Even if they don't know about each other, you just kind of take info from both and be like, okay, where are you guys matching up and where are you different, kind of a thing, like And,
I was actually just thinking I would probably get a security guard like. You ever see Let It Ride with Richard Dreyfuss?
Yeah.
Right? The security guard. He's like, I'm going to give you $10,000 to stay by my side. He's like, there's a blade of grass that just bent right over there. There's a bird landing by your foot. You want me to kill it? Right. Suddenly he's like, I'm going to...
It's a bad idea. So...
he gets so worked up over like the 10 grand.
So that aside, family aside, what's the first thing you buy? Anything before we move on?
I'm gonna buy a small house in Wisconsin.
Something small and tucked away.
Yeah.
Made out of cheese.
No, I like the weather there.
You could, Bob is saying, just in case you
it's
wanted
Wisconsin. They have lots of cheese.
Right. Yes. And if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Wisconsin getting behind you.
Lots of dairy over there.
It seems cold a lot of the year.
And that's what you like.
Yeah.
Heat's not for me.
That was the one thing about moving to LA that never appealed to me.
Right.
Why don't you just go to Alaska? They're giving away free land.
Are they really?
Yeah, you know why? You know why?
Because
it's fucking Alaska.
They basically
Just saying.
If you want, like, there's areas of Alaska where if you will go there and you will homestead it, that you can have that land.
There's a lot of incentives.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
You have to like chop down the trees to build the house.
Now, if you just want to go live in the woods, that'll get you in trouble. You can't just go live in the woods. So his third question here is, anybody into craft beers and growlers? And if Jay was here, I think he might be into it a little bit.
Yeah.
He seems more of a seasoned drinker than we are. I mean, I've tried some, nothing that's ever really been wowed to me, and I'm not really quite the connoisseur or sampler. I know that Chad and Brian Hughes are both like to sample and try and experiment new beers, their Instagram accounts, they're constantly posting up pics of like, hey, this is the new one I'm trying tonight, blah blah blah, and quite the range, man. It just feels like that. Always got
tons of
crazy
stuff out there. I mean,
it's just endless.
There's a club like the Omaha State Club for beer.
Yeah. They send you a new beer
and you can
whatever you want.
They'll even send you beers based on your profile.
Yeah. Like, I like this kind of taste range and stuff like that.
And if you don't
Makes
know,
sense.
if you don't know what you want to try, you just tell them what kind of a person you are, the things you like, and then they come up with a general idea. Stuff like that.
It'd be interesting to fill out the profile for like Norman Bates or some kind of crazy character and see what they send.
We could probably go to one and
fill it out for Hannibal Lecter and see what Hannibal's results would be.
Like, he wouldn't touch beer. He's a wine guy all the way.
Well, they do it for wine too, because that's actually the first place I heard it.
That's probably the model. Yeah, that's where it seems like a thing.
Because how many people go into a wine looking for wine who don't really know wine too well?
Right. But they could list off what they like.
If they're giving it for a gift.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, okay, well, the person likes this and that.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Right. I know he likes this wine or that type.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually was seeing something recently on TV. A guy was like, well, in my stores, this is how we do it, and we have a profile kind of thing set up. So, evidently, it's a thing.
All right. So, speaking of things, this email box has things in it.
Oh, it does it?
Yeah,
it does.
Here's another one. This one's from James Hazelden Jr.
James.
Really following the mode here. Not at all. We'll get into that. He mentions it. So this week I discovered something I didn't know or I'd forgotten about. They made a sequel/companion TV series to 12 Monkeys, the movie, which, side note, I watched most of the first season of, fell off, kind of regretted because it was really good. So people like a nice, dense time travel-based show. They're going hard for it over there.
You ever see the
original? I've heard some good things about that show. Never caught it, though.
Yeah.
The movie was actually really good.
And they're going still. It's still coming up with another season, I think.
You ever see the short film it was based on? La Jetée, the French film?
No, I always wanted to try and check it out, though.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, the difference on it.
Because that movie's it's all still pictures.
Okay.
It's like a slideshow.
Gotcha.
That just goes in with narration over it.
Okay.
It's really.
Oh, hence the pictures in the movie now.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Okay.
Got it.
So he goes forth, our friend James here. So he's at the car wash because, he hit a bird at about 70 miles an hour on the interstate. So you know how that goes.
Actually, I do.
Explosions and feathers and bird guts. He says, I think Ed might get another invite to guest on another podcast. You're welcome, Ed, and fuck you, Jay. Jay's not here, though. I
don't want to guest on any podcasts, guys.
I mean, come on,
What podcast is this?
No, didn't you tell me that he made some offhand mention in a tweet?
Oh, yes.
So I guess he mentioned. Yeah. I guess he was joking around on that tweet, and this is just a callback to that joking around. So he says, "Darn it! I had 2 tweets go semi-viral this week. They're political, so I'm not going to say what they were. We won't go into politics here, but damn it, it's actually annoying to have around 3,000 notification alerts in one day from people liking, replying, and retweeting and arguing amongst themselves. Yeah, I would think so too. It's the one thing where, like, I'm back in my head, I'm like." Like, when I come in and I see, like, I have a bunch of notifications built up, and it's like, it's nothing. Like, I don't have a lot of activity. You know what I mean? But if I ever did, like, I don't know, it would drive you insane. It would have to drive you insane.
You had to hire somebody.
Yeah, you get a helper. You do. I need an assistant.
And someone to sit there and click a button.
Yeah, and just say, I love you all.
Well, they got to have some kind of software that, like, hooks up with your app on your phone.
Yeah.
Or on your computer.
Well, TweetDeck is actually an app that helps manage a lot of that kind of stuff a little bit.
Well, like, are you supposed to respond to those stuff?
No, but here's the thing. I'm always amazed by celebs that do reply to a certain degree to people.
Okay, is that why people think I'm an asshole on Twitter? Because I don't reply to anybody.
Yeah, that probably is it a little bit. Yeah, especially since we're all on a very micro level here, and it's like I asked you a question. If people are actually like trying to talk to you,
because like I usually
you probably should
like someone will like call me out or they'll like tag me and something and be like, oh, that's interesting, and I'll just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, if you actually have something to say, then say it. But I mean, if you feel like you're being pulled into a conversation, it would be nice once in a while. I mean, it's social media, so you don't. I mean, I guess maybe you're missing out on it's like some social stuff. You don't have to, but I guess if certain people were to recognize that as a pattern,
gotcha,
on an individual level, like they would notice, like, oh, because I follow you and I kind of see what you're doing. I've noticed that you're an asshole. But not everybody's noticing that pattern. You know what I mean? But or maybe a lot of people will probably look at like if they feel like they got snuffed, what they might actually do is go to your wall and see how much you do have activity, and then like if they're like a rational person, say, oh, okay, I see that he doesn't really engage too much on a general basis. Don't take it personal.
Yeah,
You know what I
because I'll be honest. The big reason I have it is to promote, and I don't even know if I do that well.
No. Well, I will tell you guys. It would be nice to see a little step up. You know what I mean? Like, I know that. For me, I tweet the show all week, and I kind of feel bad about it sometimes, but it's the only way to promote the show, really. You know what I mean? So, some retweets once in a while. No harm, no foul. So let's go forward. So what's James got up to now? He says tomorrow's date night, so hopefully I'll miss the end of the show. So that he'll have something on Monday to listen to, but he's going to go see Aliens Covenant. He goes, I'm looking forward to whatever the Star Wars thing is that you're doing, which we did, and he was there for. After Jay's All Right trivia performance, because last week we gave Jay 5 trivia questions, and Jay did okay on them. Right. He's looking forward to it. James is looking forward to it. He goes, I'm still trying to figure out how to get Patreon updated. I can't seem to figure out, because his Patreon membership slept a little bit. I miss hearing the after show when I miss it live because I'm in a theater or I fall asleep during the actual show. That probably sounds bad, but FYI, if I sit still for too long, I fall asleep. So it's not that I'm caring or judgmental on the show. I'm just that way. I guess he's just trying to say like he'll be listening to the show.
So
he's not doing
we're not boring him when he falls asleep.
I think he's just over-explaining.
The same thing happens to me too.
No, it happens to me all the time. You know how many times I'm listening to something and like I start nodding out? I'm like, do I go back, or do I just let it keep playing and hope that I didn't miss anything good? So he says, if more people would send in emails, I'd make sure all my emails were like last week's email, nice and short. So there's time for theirs as well, just saying. But apparently all the others are too lazy to write in, or maybe they live vicariously through me and enjoy the long emails with random updates of my semi-boring life. Perhaps they could send an email to let us know. He's got a fair point there. If people are tired of hearing James's long-winded emails, send in yours, and he'll start making them shorter. So
maybe that's the whole reason James is doing these
that's kind of what he's
emails.
saying. Is like, I'm looking to fill up the time.
No, I mean just because they're enjoying listening to his emails, so he's getting enjoyment from doing the long ones.
Oh, sure, trust me. Yeah, this is more about him than me.
yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to go.
But he says now a question. Well, since we know that Blade Runner, Aliens, and Predator are a shared universe, are they?
This is a theory that's come up. I don't think it's actually been
fully proven.
Like Ridley Scott has hinted at that.
I get the Aliens and Predator. I get that.
Yeah.
How does Blade Runner? Because there's some corporation or something maybe that's tied in.
Well, the Ridley Scott connection.
Just the fact that he's involved.
He directed both Blade Runner and Alien.
Right, but I'm saying,
I don't know if there's like any exact evidence, but there's been kind of like allusions to that.
Okay. I mean, aesthetically, I can understand that.
Yeah, and I'm sure he said in an interview that they're the same, and then 2 weeks later changed his mind. So
fair enough. Well, since we know all that, or shared universe, androids and aliens are like Apple, and Blade Runner are IBM, competitive companies. Do you think that they ever... ... Damn, I forgot what I was going to ask. My mind blanked on me. Whenever I remember, I'll send another email. P.S. Fuck you, Jay. Oh, shit, that was my last fuck to give this week. I don't have any more till Monday. Oh, well, glad it's Friday. So, guess what, kids? James remembered, and he sent in another email. All right.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
He was probably making himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, doing something totally random. 20 minutes later, and it hit him right in the face.
There you go. So, with the sequel to Blade Runner coming out, do you think they'll make any Xenomorph or Wayland references? A cheap shot of how easy it is for Blade Runner to ID a Wayland-made android to mock the later Aliens movies, or you didn't know who the android was at the beginning. Do you think that there'll be anything, basically, in Blade Runner that will cement that... three-way crossoverness? I don't know.
Well, I just think it's enough that there's androids and Alien.
I guess that's the thing, right? Is that's the thing that's tying it, is that there's androids and Blade Runner, there's androids and Alien. So if that's the connection.
Well, actually, okay. So I'm looking on here.
Cool.
Moviepilot.com.
Right.
There's an article from April of 2016. Mm-hmm. Evidently, there's a screenshot in Prometheus
Okay.
That has a
logo or something.
well, no, it's this letter of this speech that Wayland, Guy Pearce's character, basically where he's talking about a friend, an old competitor, telling him to put away childish things and abandon toys, and it's basically like he's talking about Eldon Tyrell, who founded the Tyrell Corporation that makes the replicants in Blade Runner.
But he's literally definitely talking about that, or we're still inferring.
Well, you can tell it's an inference. He doesn't say the name Tyrell, but the illusion that you get from the speech that he from what he's writing, it can only be Tyrell, is what some people are saying.
Oh, because he gets specific.
Yes.
More than just saying old friend or old competitor.
Yes.
Okay. Because if that's all it is old friend or old competitor.
I'll read the actual text. So,
Fair
a
enough.
mentor and long-departed competitor once told me that it was time to put away childish things and abandon my toys.
Mm-hmm.
He encouraged me to come to work for him, and together we would take over the world and become the new gods. That's how he ran his corporation, like a god on top of a pyramid overlooking a city of angels. Of course, he chose to replicate the power of creation in an unoriginal way by simply copying God. And look how that turned out for the poor bastard. Literally blew up in the old man's face. I always suggested he stick with simple robotics instead of those genetic abominations he enslaved and sold off-world. Although his idea to implant them with false memories was, well, amusing, is how I would put it politely.
Okay. So all of these things add up. Okay. Fair enough. Well, that's kind of what I was just hoping for, that there was more of an illusion and a tighter connection. So, all right. You know, it's either that or Westworld. He's either talking about Blade Runner or Westworld. just saying. Okay. So with that scuttlebutt skippled off to the side, we'll say thank you, James, for your sending in your follow-up. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for Blade Runner to have anything tight and hard and firm.
Yeah.
Guess who's next?
Sammy?
Steph Muniz from the Gotham Lights podcast.
Ooh.
She started off with, hey, yous guys. Hi, that's all. Can't think of anything to ask.
Hey, Steph.
That's it. That's all she's got.
Gotham's really
Just
good
keep
this
it short.
week.
Yeah.
Gotham's getting really good like the last month or so.
Ed's taking it at this time. To just now's a good time to mention that again.
Just point that out.
So she says, hi, thanks all. I can't think of anything to ask. If Uncle Jay's there, thanks for the kind words on Twitter. Have a good one, fellas. Take care. Your pal Steph. Well, Steph, thanks for the hello.
Thanks.
Basically,
She's been kind of busy like world hopping lately.
yeah. She's getting around, man.
Pennsylvania, Germany.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy, all these places. With that, that's going to wrap up the emails.
All right.
Then that's and that's it. And that's it, kids.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. So with that, we are going to wrap it up. We are going to fold it up. If people want to check out the show, it's at wickedtheory.com. If you want to hear anything else, know anything else, just hang out, listen to Paula tell you all about it in a minute. And hang out if you're listening live for the DCTV report, which is found separately in the podcast feed these days. And
It's special.
It's
Jam-packed.
so special. And then, probably jam-packed this week, right, Ed?
6 episodes.
Six
Yeah.
shows. Damn.
And DC does deserve some respect.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they're pumping them out, man. All right,
Yep.
so with that, Ed, where can people find you on the Twitters?
Well, evidently I can piss people off all the time.
Right.
At Edward O'Hare TBD.
Ooh, that sounds inviting.
I'm at Bob WTPC.
There you go. And then I'm at Wicked Theory.
And I do reply sometimes.
And Bob does reply.
I try.
You know, so hey, give Bob a follow. Talk to Bob then. If Ed won't talk to you, Bob will fucking talk to you. All right? Don't even ask me what I'm going to do because I don't know. I don't know. I might not. All right. And then, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Bob, you know what? You can take us out of here whenever you're ready. Do. Hey, Ed. Go fuck yourself.
Right back at you.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid, plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.